Question for you, Tanya.
Sure.
We've talked a little bit about like when you're evaluating companies talking about multipliers. Does that vary industry to industry? And if so, why?
It does vary industry to industry, but it also varies based on the level of SDE, and it varies based on um, other factors. It can vary based on geographical location. So why? Because valuation is an art and a science, and buyers buy businesses based on perceived risk. And so really, the earnings are easy to calculate. That's the science, right? That's the math. You can figure out what those discretionary earnings are by subtracting or adding back some of the non-operating expenses. So when we're normalizing those financials, we want to get basically to operating income and operating expenses. So we want to exclude everything else out of the picture. But when it comes to the earnings, that's the perceived risk. And so and also just the desirability. There are certain industries that are more in demand, more desirable. For example, anything with high amounts of recurring revenue, like security monitoring, or like certain IT services where they're subscription based, any kind of software as a service, subscription based, you get that recurring revenue. So those actually go with a higher multiple typically. And something like medical device manufacturing, those have higher multiples. So, it does depend on the industry. Although, there's not a tremendous amount of fluctuation industry to industry, but there are certain industries that do command higher multiples. And then, like I said, the level of SDE, if you've got $50,000 in SDE, that's going to be a different multiple than if you have $500,000. Does that make sense, Miles?
Yeah, thank you so much.